Plaintiff Hervina Harris says she and the defendant met at the gym and became friends, and they eventually started a sexual relationship. Hervina claims they continued having sex even after the defendant got a girlfriend, and she's suing him today for unpaid loans and emotional distress. Defendant Donald Gibson admits that he and Hervina had a sexual relationship and claims she was nothing more than a booty call. Donald admits to owing Hervina for a portion of the lawsuit, but insists the rest of the money was a gift.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Prove your case.
I met Donald around September of 2003 at the YMCA. He approached me. We exchanged telephone numbers. He and I became friends. Friends with benefits really, really fast. He pumped the brakes. I think he got a little cold feet, being that he was recently out of a relationship. He and I remained friends with benefits.
You're just talking in code. You're going to have to break. You're going to have to break some of this down.
You know what friends with benefits are?
Friends with benefits? He pumped me on my brakes or whatever.
No, I pumped the brakes. He like kind of, our little relationship. So it just remained friends with benefits. This is all it went.
Right. Okay.
Friends with benefits. Okay.
Go ahead.
I would go over his house. He would cook. Like on Sundays, I would spend the night and I get up and go to work from there. And eventually, that stopped. He
started pumping you again.
No.
Pumping the brakes. I mean, he stopped. You said before when you said he pumped it or whatever, you said that meant stopped.
Well, our relationship was moving really fast and it just slowed down. Is that better?
That's what pumping the brakes mean. All right.
He slowed it down.
And the second time, what happened?
He got a girlfriend. And he and I still remain friends with benefits, but just not as much.
What does that mean? Y'all
not as often, not as frequent. The benefits weren't as frequent.
What do you mean? Health care or?
I'm sorry?
What type? Health care insurance, car insurance? What type of benefits?
Sex.
Oh, sex?
Yes.
Oh, friends, but just sex partners?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So he eventually separated with his girlfriend temporarily, I guess, because they got back together. But this is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
He broke up. He called me. He came over to my house that day. After he got off work, we ended up getting down, having sex. And,
thank you.
He eventually told me that, he didn't have any money because he had paid his girlfriend's all her rent and her bills. And it was a few more days till he got paid again. And he needed some money for gas, to get a room, etc. So
I know you knew that was game, right?
Well,
he probably got put out. Let me hear your side, son.
How's it going, Your Honor? So she pretty much explained it. We met at the YMCA and, became friends, and, started having sexual
insurance. Start having, I'm sorry, not benefits.
Friends with benefits. Right? And she was just mainly a booty call, I used to go over to her house and, she used to cook. And we
booty call.
She was a booty call. You know what that is, right?
Speaks? I don't know.
No. A booty call is like, that's just a figure of speech. It's like
you answer?
Nice. But,
that was bad. I got some voice.
That's really.
I just had to get you on that.
But that's really what our friendship was, Used to go, to her house and watch sports and, and chit chat.
Get on down, right? Okay.
But that's pretty much it always was. And now
it was a sexual relationship.
Sex, pretty much. Yes. But she had wanted more, and I didn't. That's where it kind of like ended right there. So.
All right, now tell me about the money you're suing him for, the loans.
Okay, so
when he came over, that's when this happened. You loaned him money.
Yes, I gave him what I had on me at that time, which was $400 cash. He told me that he would pay me back.
When did he say he would pay you back?
when was never discussed.
All right.
Only that he would.
Well, then he don't owe you. Go ahead. Next. No, I'm just kidding. It means within a reasonable amount of time. Go ahead. And how long ago was it?
The end of March of 2006.
Oh, certainly. It's been a reasonable amount of time in which he has had to pay you.
Okay. So eventually I got into a relationship. No more friends with benefits. No more sex.
That was because I stopped calling. It wasn't because of
He kept in contact with me. I didn't have a phone number on him because of
Let's
the
get back to the loans. You loaned him $400 in 06, and then what?
Right. There's 2 loans.
That's what I'm listening for.
The second loan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, the second loan happened this year.
Okay.
In May of this year.
How much?
$300.
All right. When was he to pay that?
May 28th, 2009.
Okay. And he hasn't, obviously.
That's
Sir,
correct.
what do you say to this?
the 400s. It wasn't an issue where she told me to pay her back. She gave me that. You know, it was a gift.
Makes sense that she would give you $300 3 years later.
No,
and you haven't paid the $400.
I owed up to that $300 because I told her I was going to pay her back on the 18th.
If you hadn't interrupted, you would have heard what I said. Because what I said was to your benefit.
Okay.
But I'm not going to repeat it.
All right.
I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go ahead and handle it yourself.
All right. But as far as the $300, I owe her that. But the 400 that's a wash deal.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's over. She never questioned me about it during the times
She never asked for
No,
it
she
back.
never asked for that. Never.
Okay, because had she asked you to pay,
I would have paid within that time.
That's right.
meaning it was a loan. And she's about to provide me with what?
Contract. And
Saying what?
That he owes me the $300.
See?
And the reason I made
Her contract only says $300.
Yes, sir.
You should have left it alone. You went to speak over me, and then ultimately your last admission was, yeah, I agreed to pay her the $400.
I didn't say that.
You said because she never asked for it.
She never asked for the
And
400.
I said, well, had she asked for it, would you have given it to her? You said, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
So that means it was a loan.
Okay.
If somebody asks you for some money and you're going to give it to them and they tell you it was a loan, then it was a loan. $700. What's your emotional distress for?
I'm asking for emotional distress. $100 for him hanging up in my face. $100 for him ignoring all of my calls and all of my text
Oh, for
messages.
ignoring your calls.
And $100
Ma'am, you don't
for
get
the
paid for
inconvenience.
somebody cutting your sex off. No, ma'am. No. I give you your $700. But him refusing to respond to your sex calls is not a case of emotional distress. Judgment for the plaintiff.